say KRG. There you go.
KRG, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally set up, and we are sending the invites now.
Our apologies to Kings Row Gods. Unfortunately, their name is just too powerful for the custom game designer, so we have to do an acronym here, which is unfortunate. But everyone at home, y'all know KRG, Kings Row Gods.
All right, and we are here.
We are team
KRG for Kings Row, ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't no shit, invite him. Your team.
All right, and here we go. Dadbot Low, what is going on? We have a Dadbot in the chat. What is going on, Dadbot?
Team.
And Trash Man, before we start the game, oh man, before we start the game here, what exactly can we look at going into this one here?
I will say Reformed, that team is very unknown to me. I'm not familiar with the teammates on there. Anal Shipman, he has an interesting name. That's about all I really know about that team. Rose's team, however, I'm familiar with a couple of the teammates. Your Mom Trash especially. She is an exceptional Zenyatta, and that's it. No offense.
She most definitely is an exceptional Zenyatta, and like Trashman said, we are actually unaware of Reformed as we have never seen them play, and it's going to be interesting to see what they bring to the table. Let's get into the action, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see your Mom Trash put on Zenyatta to see really how well she can do. She can flex pretty well, though. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what goes down.
And we are here on Kings Row. This is the first map that will be played every time we play a game. This is just our favorite map, and this is how we wanted to set it up. So expect
more power to that too. I'll say that Kings Row, I believe in our humble opinion, is one of the most balanced maps in Overwatch. Most fun to play for the attackers and defenders. So that's why it's one of our favorites. It's just a very well-made map.
And it looks as if we are going to see from Kings Row Gods, we are going to see the Rhine Zarya combo with a Torbjorn. That's interesting. I don't know if we're gonna actually keep that pick, but we'll see what happens. And it looks like Rose's swap onto the Junkrat. That's
Rose is playing Junkrat. I love to see that. Is that where his real talents are? We will see. Junkrat, everyone thinks is a no-brainer hero, but hey, he even has the shout-out. This one's for you. He knows I love it.
Everyone knows Trash.
Looks like Rose is already stuck, and he's probably not going to be able to get out.
All right, and what are we looking at composition-wise going into this one, Trash Man?
Ernadelian already complaining about the skins. You got a lot of good banter going on in here, and that's just too bad.
Herndelian with a complaint, but let's
we will ignore that.
We're gonna see that come out on the battlefield. We see we have Herndelian on the Brigitte. He's proven quite hardened on the Brigitte, so it's gonna be an interesting one here.
Your Mom Trash on the healer, and I also forgot to mention she is a good healer. She can do all the supports fairly well, so I'm glad to see her on.
And it looks like Reformed is working Hotel the Zarya onto the Junkrat. Very hard push, but are they gonna be able to pull through here? Oh, a big bubble. It looks like Reformed is moving on to point. A charge from the Reinhardt. No pins on both sides.
They came in very fast, so
Rose is on the Junkrat.
Able to take them off guard.
All right. It looks like Evergreen and Yako with the Reinhardt and the Brigitte with the first two picks, and it looks like they are going to be able to hold here.
Looks like the Kings Row Gods are definitely not the Kings Row Gods of point A. We'll see if they're the Kings Row Gods of point B. Krill, however, with an interesting.
It looks like a tire from. Okay.
Didn't do anything, which is unfortunate. Rose is caught out. Is he gonna have to kill himself? Is he gonna get stuck?
And it looks like the Junkrat is very, very far back in the backline of Reformed, the attacking team.
That is dangerous for both Anal Shipman's team, but also dangerous for Rose's because he dies when he's losing health fast. That'll be a bad delay.
And it looks like we have the Reinhardt Brigida brawl on the front line. It looks like Disco and Herndalian are looking to hold this front line here. A big rally coming in from Herndalian. Now a sound barrier from the enemy team's Lucio. A shatter. An absolutely massive. It looks like Disco. Oh, a block shatter by Evergreen.
Just misses the shatter by 1 step.
No pin. It looks like Reformed is going to be able to push through this payload now.
Reformed is just smashing through there. No problems. They have not yet lost a team fight.
It looks like Reformed is showing some prevalence here on King's Row. King's Row Gods looking to come back on the next engagement here.
Possibly being demoted to King's Row Lords, maybe. Maybe not Gods.
And it looks like they are pushing up far. Reformed is very far right now. They're looking to gain space on the payload. A grab coming out from the Zarya on Reformed. It looks like it got the Brigida and Reinhardt. Another bomb. It boops the Mercy, and she has no one to fly to. Oh, she has the Zarya, but she will be
Your Mom Trash
shortly killed thereafter.
in the hole.
It looks like a res from Your Mom Trash. Wow, that's a very interesting res there. It looks like
that's going to be tough because they're sandwiched real bad.
Yeah, it looks like it's ultimately going to feed the opposing team's ultimates. And it looks like Reformed is just pushing hard into this team right now.
Payload is not even with the team. They are pushing so far ahead and having so much success with this as well. They are very well coordinated. And the anal shipment team still has malts to use. They have not even had to use them all yet.
It looks as if King's Row Gods have not really had a solid regroup yet. And another shatter coming out from Evergreen. And it connected a pin onto the other team's Reinhardt. It looks like the Reaper is left alone to finish looking for a grab from the Zarya on Reformed. And they take the 3rd point with
very
ease.
Quickly. I must say, I think the reflection on this was the difference between organization. Reformed was very close together. They knew exactly when to push. King's Row Gods, on the other hand, like I said, King's Row Lords maybe. They were pretty spread out most of the time. They weren't really able to get together and really make a good hold. Unfortunately, they lost every team fight. So hopefully their team will have some time to reflect, just a couple seconds to reflect on what's going on and maybe get their act together and reclaim their Divinity title for this map.
And Trash Man, it almost looks as if King's Row Gods, one of the things that they can look to improve on here for this next go around is to make sure to reset as a full team. It looks as if on defense they didn't have a full reset or a full regroup once.
Definitely a lot of trickling, a lot of reses out of position that I saw a few times. Unfortunately, it just adds more to the trickle. Looks like we have Krill on Widow here. If Widow stays, that'll be nice to see. We haven't seen a lot of Widow action. The last time we saw a good Widow was actually from Hornet, who was trying to pull off the classic Gladiator push on King's Row, but that didn't work quite well. So I'd love to see some good headshot action going on here.
Well said.
I'd like to see some good mechanical fighting going on. Roses, however, on Bastion this time, which is a really interesting pick on attack. And honestly, from my own humble opinion, I would have kept the Junkrat. He's amazing. I'm very biased.
Oh, Trash Man.
Hopefully they can really push through there and make a hole for their team to get right onto the point.
Coming from the Junkrat main over here.
Absolutely. Top 1 in North America.
Top 69, right? And it looks like King's Row is looking to push
really
full right side around the statue, up on the Mega, up to Treehouse. This looks like a good push.
Now.
It looks like a Bastion setup, maybe just what they needed here. It looks like Disco on the point, got hit by the Brigida. Okay, a nice pick from the Widow. A huge res from the Mercy on the Reinhardt. And it looks like the Bastion is going to melt. Okay, Roses on the Bastion, going to need to back up to reset with the team as the team fight was lost there.
That was a good effort. Unfortunately, they just they couldn't clean up everything. Bastion really hammered down with that damage, but it just Oh, it wasn't enough to get those 3 picks right there at the end.
And it looks like they're going to hold tight here. Here comes the opposing team's Reinhardt, as well as the full Kings Row Gods team. Okay, a nice chatter blocked by Disco. But it looks like they're able to finish him off. And Anal Shipman is going to be popping off here, actually, as well as the Brigida on Reform.
Oh, poor Widow caught off guard right there in the corner again.
We are seeing a lot of big stunts coming from Yako on the Brigida. And it looks as if Kings Row Gods are looking to play a form of Ghosts. Except, actually, it looks like a 2-2-2. Yeah, it looks like a 2-2-2 here running from Kings Row Gods. Alright, a big ult coming from the Bastion, but is he... Oh, a Transcendence popped from King's Reform team on the Zenyatta. And it looks like they're going to be able to stabilize here. A Shatter attempt by Disco, but is blocked and is shut down. It looks like the charge coming in from the opposing team's Reinhardt on Reform. The Mercy res, very risky there. It looks like they're going to be able to hold on to this point. Reform, that is.
I'll say Your Mom Trash, definitely known for those really risky reses. Sometimes they really pull out pretty well, but not this time.
And that is how the cookie crumbles. It looks like Kings Row Gods is looking for another engagement here. We have Volk coming from Your Mom Trash on Kings Row Gods. Here comes the Volk. A big shatter coming in from Evergreen Reinhardt on Reform. Oh no, here comes the Grab Dragon combo. We all know this all too well. And it's going to be a team wipe. Can Kings Row Gods pull together on their supposed map? We will see, ladies and gentlemen.
And unfortunately, that Alf was just gone into the gutter now. Hopefully she can get that back fast enough in time for Zibarian's grab, which should be coming up really quick here, and Krill can combo with that.
Okay, a big sound barrier coming in from Herdelian on Lucio for Kings Row Gods with a dragon from Kirill. Will this be enough for them?
They just can't get the picks off.
It looks as if there is not enough target prioritization or DPS firepower from Kings Row Gods. You're not seeing enough damage output from Kings Row Gods here on the attack. Trashman, what can we see? What can we see here from this next push?
Well, it looks like Roses is trying to adapt, just like Hornet was in the last full match we had. But unfortunately, a lot of his picks, they're not getting the follow up. They're not getting set up properly. He's just getting slammed down a lot. He is the DPS unit, along with Krill. They have to get the job done.
It looks like they're going to have to get this grab off here. They need to use it now.
And they got the trans there.
Oh, and it looks like the Transcendence to shut down the Gravitron from Z-Barry and Zarya.
Just no follow-up.
Reformed will win the map.
Time is up. Earlier, it seemed like there were a few wasted opportunities there with the there were some good grab combos you could have done with Hanzo there, but unfortunately Hanzo's ult seemed to be used more as a zoning ult.
Yeah, it looks
by Kings Row Gods a lot instead. So.
It looks as if Kings Row Gods could have benefited from the combo of the Grab Dragon, but we did not see that last game.
We also didn't see a lot of ult combos from them either. That definitely makes up a lot of the difference. There were a lot of ults used, but not a lot of follow-up, unfortunately. Reformed did a very good job on attack and defense there. They're very closely knit together. They knew when to use their ults. They knew when to come together as a team and press those buttons.
Press Q to win. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are up next on Lijiang Tower. What are we going to see going into this one, Trash Man? What are we looking at here?
Well, for one thing, I'm really hoping that Kings Row Gods, you know, they have the same icons. I'm really hoping that those icons really push them through to a win.
I could see that. You know, skins wins, and so do icons, right? Isn't that just how it is?
I really want to see Roses on Moira, though. He is amazing at Moira. It's kind of disappointing to see him turning into kind of just a DPS flex here, because unfortunately it seemed like he was put in a really awkward position versus an exceptional Hanzo there on Reformed. and any other DPS they had that could just shut them down.
I-
Lijiang Tower will really push their brawling to the limit, though. Their ability to brawl, their ability to really get together and just go ham together. So this will kind of be, you know, a battle on the point of King's Row, but just constantly. So we'll see who can really pull off the most. Reformed, however, they have a good handle on when to use their alt combos. Kings Row Gods, they got to get it together, otherwise a lot of things will get wasted, unfortunately.
So, Trash Man, going into this next game, we are hoping to see Roses making use of his great main support on either a Moira, a Mercy, or an Ana, as well as more combo potential with the ultimates coming from King's Row Gods, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the action.
Trebuchet Ricochet in the chat. Be nice. Kings Row Gods got some good plays in there too. And I will say, you are right. They had some good plays. I still think the big thing that made the difference was a lot of the follow-up to the good plays. They had some really good mechanical uses of things. They were able to really pull off some interesting stuff, but because of the follow-up, most of the time wasn't there. It just didn't have enough impact.
Well said, Trash Man. And what are we going to be looking at for compositions here going into this next map?
Well, if Zabarian keeps his hero currently, it looks like we're going to see some Ana action again. And I love to see Ana action. We may see a 2-2-2 from Kings Row Gods here, I'm not quite sure. And maybe a triple tank, maybe a 2-2-2 from Reformed as well.
And
Gecko deliberating between playing Hammond or not. He's not quite sure. He keeps clicking that button. Anal Shipman, though, looks like he wants to stay on Hanzo. He was very effective. Absolutely effective as Hanzo. The other team got analed by Anal Shipman a lot. So I think he wants to stick with that.
And we are restarting the match, ladies and gentlemen. It looks as if one of the players is stuck on the loading screen.
Your mom Trash, I will say she plays on her iPhone, so sometimes she has difficulty really getting into the match, getting that game loaded, so it's too bad.
That is all right. And we are back. We are here. We are ready to go for another map in the Science Fair tournament. Thank you all
We did
so
forget
much.
the band, hero band. If they
Kings Row Gods.
oh wait, they haven't won. Oh yeah, they won the last one. I'm a mess. I'm sorry. That Mercy rezzing Zarya by slowly falling off the map before GA back was big brain. Ricochet, I kind of disagree because when Zarya was rezzed on King's Row there, they were immediately sandwiched by the other team, and that was 2 more picks for the other team. So I don't know, it really didn't seem like the best decision there, but it's hard to see everything that's going on, unfortunately. It's really a lot of chaos sometimes, so you gotta do what you gotta do, make those risky rezzes sometimes.
Alright, and it looks like we have a swap onto the McCree for DPS here for Kings Row Gods. And is this going to be enough? It looks like they're moving in main. Big anti from the Ana on Kings Row Gods onto the opposing team. Tater Tot Moira. Okay, it looks like Reinhardt's trying to create space here for his team. A big Zarya bubble from Kings Row Gods onto Disco. A big Fire Strike coming in from Evergreen here, and it looks as if they are going to be winning this fight.
Yeah, once again, it was immediately turned into a 65 once Brigitte went down on Kings Row Gods,
overextended into Kings Row Gods and got himself killed. But all in all, that was a great great engagement on both parts, and we are in for another exciting match.
If it was anyone but Reinhardt, maybe it would have been good because there'd be a little bit more delay, but Reinhardt can get back to the point pretty quick, so.
And a Dragon coming in from Anal Shipman.
What a nice zoning all. Rose is capitalizing on getting some easy energy there.
Big energy coming in from the Rose's Zarya here. We're gonna be looking to see some huge prevalence here on the Zarya from Roses. And let's take a look here. We have Disco on Reinhardt, Herndelian on the Brigitte, looking to get some space here for the team.
There's just no respect going on here. They are just really trying to get them right back to their spawn here. Just, they don't even care. They'll go up as far as they want here. Can Kings Row Gods get back together and really take it back to them, take advantage of their overconfidence going on here?
It looks as if Kings Row Gods is going to look for an overextension from Reformed and capitalize on it here for this next engagement. Evergreen with the Earth Shatter waiting to pop. Oh, it looks like Disco gets the Earth Shatter off. But there's a Dragon follow-up here. And another Sound Barrier, which was almost unnecessary because the fight was already won, but that is fine. And it looks like Reformed is going to hold Kings Row Gods into spawn furthermore here.
Reformed, 3 ults right there. 3 ults ready to go.
Here comes a charge from Evergreen, antied. It looks like there's a big anti, and it looks like Kings Row Gods with a huge Transcendence. Oh my goodness gracious, a massive Diva Bomb coming in from SWCW.
Big, huge.
Absolutely huge, ladies and gentlemen. That was massive.
Oh, Zenyatta, poor Zenyatta, stuck back in that corner again. No respect at all. Looks like Rose is trying to sneak around there.
Rose is sneaking around. It looks like a Nano Monkey on a Disco, but they cannot touch the point, and Reformed will win the first round of Lijiang Tower.
Absolutely no respect from Reformed against Kings Row. They are not afraid to really just push them wherever they want to push them. What can Kings Row Gods do?
Trashman, it looks as if Kings Row Gods just needs to play more of a tightly knit unit here. It looks as if they need to just stick together and understand what roles are what and just work as a team.
Zinder says, another total roll. I'm just going to go to work. Ha. Well, the upside to rolls is that we know for a fact the best teams will end up playing each other at some point here, and we'll really see some cool stuff going on. But for this map, this is a time for Kings Row Gods to really adapt and see what they have to change in order to get some wins in.
Well said, Trashman.
Hopefully they're paying close attention to what's going on and how the other team is behaving.
And it looks like Rose has swapped onto the Genji here. It looks like he's trying to take advantage with the Doomfist on this Widowmaker, and they will. And it looks like a massive play from Roses on the Genji. Looks like Zenny's won. Oh, it's coming out. The Diva is following up on the Genji. Oh my goodness. SWS10, SWCW10 coming through with a huge Diva play again.
SWCWS, SWW10S.
SWT, ZZZZZ, Resident Sleeper, dude.
Anal ship, man.
Alright. And it looks like Disco and your Mom Trash, some great priority here. Some great target priority. Looks like a huge stun from Herndelian onto the Winston, but the Winston's able to get some heals pocketed. So it looks like looks like Evergreen's making some massive space for his team here. He's allowing his DPS to get a lot of room for some poke damage and big dives and target priority onto the back line. Let's see what Kings Row Gods can do here going into this next fight. It looks like we have the Winston, Brigitte, McCree, Hanzo, Zenyatta, Zari? Or Diva? It looks like we have a massive Brigitte coming in here with a stun on the Diva. And they are going full force here. Another Dragon coming out from Kirill. Oh, wow. Very nice dink from your Mom Trash onto the Tracer.
Excellent follow-up.
A great follow-up from Kings Row Gods here, and it looks like they're going to be able to secure the point.
The only downside is once they get to the top of that hill, there's going to be a lot of pressure from the bottom now because the other team, they are full on with their ults. Anal Shipman's the only one without an ult, so they're going to have a lot to work on now. There's going to be a lot of pressure on
And a dive onto the Zenyatta with a nice peel from Disco into the backline. It looks like he's able to shut down the Diva. But the McCree is ulting, gets the Mercy. What is going on here? We have a Brigida in the back line. It looks like he's able to heal his team up. And it looks like a huge Transcendence coming in from the Zenyatta. The Brigida finishes the Winston. And Anal Shipman kills himself with a barrage. And it looks like...
Analed himself.
Can your mom trash put... Oh, it looks like the Winston is alone on point now. And it's... Okay, we have the McCree pick onto the Zenyatta. It's huge. It looks like Reformed is able to take the point here, but Kirill is almost able to finish off the Mercy in the back line. Oh, it's a huge dash. That was a close one there from Kings Row Gods coming back on that point. Diva Bomb coming out from Z-Barian onto the Mercy, an actually massive pick. It looks as if the Kings Row Gods are looking to be down 3 men right now. And another Pulse Bomb onto the Monkey. It looks like Reformed is able to secure this point.
That's it.
Another map 1 from Reform.
I will say, proud of Kings Row Gods. They were able to take advantage of a few things. It looks like they adapted. They were able to see what was really going on. But unfortunately, Reforms are really good at counter-adapting, countering what's going on. And they have just excellent plays on. They know how to brawl very well on this map. It's obvious. Kings Row Gods, though, proud of you for being able to really take that point. It's not like it was a total loss. There were some victories there, and that's what you need to move ahead with.
You got to roll with the punches, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what Kings Row plans to do going into this next map here. What do we have up next, Trashman?
Volskaya Industries.
We have Volskaya.
First hero ban.
We have our first hero ban here, or actually I would say second here, coming in from Kings Row Gods. What are we banning, ladies and gentlemen? What is the ban?
Hornet saying, take a shot every time our boys say, it looks like, and he has a point. We say it a lot around here. It looks like we say it a lot. Thanks, Hornet,
all right,
for dropping by.
Yeah.
Hornet, playing in the last game, wants to drop by in the stream, see what the competition's like.
Ladies and gentlemen, we saw a lot of good Doomfist action from your boy Hornet. He was actually a sub in for a guy that was a flex DPS for that team, but was a little late to the show, if you know what I mean. So it looks like he actually came through really good there for Shadow Juice, and it looks like it helped him out quite a bit. What do you think about that, Trash Man?
Absolutely, he's a good sub. He can flex. We already saw his ability to be agile. But that's last game.
That's last game.
Reformed Kings Row Gods here. I'm still kind of disappointed. I haven't seen Rose's classic Moira yet, but you know, based on their composition of their team, he may not be able to switch off his current role, unfortunately. So.
And that is unfortunate because I know for a fact Roses is a great Moira, and that is up to him. But I think we would see a lot of value out of Rose's Moira and or Ana or even a Mercy. All right, and what do we have here? We have Volskaya Industries coming up for you guys for the next map, all right?
Who was the hero ban? Or they're debating?
It looks like the hero ban is going to be Brigida, ladies and gentlemen. So Reformed is unable to play the Brigida going into this next match, and let's get started.
Interesting move, definitely. I will say when Brigida first came out, a lot of people didn't know how to deal with her. Nowadays, she's definitely a lot easier to deal with, but you know, put in the right hand, she can just be super effective if you can't, you know, get away. She can really, I don't know, shut down so much. There's so many ults she can just nullify. So much she can do. brainless healing, I'd say. You just click a button, she's already healing people. But that doesn't mean she's brainless to play. You still got to have that healer mentality to be really effective. So put in the right hands, they're going to just shut that right down with the hero ban. So what are they going to do now? We'll see.
Trashman, Brigida's in a really interesting spot right now. She is the first hybrid support, in my opinion. She can provide frontline backup to either the main tank, or usually the main tank. She can provide the frontline support there, as well as the backline support, the peeling for her support. For instance, if there's someone attacking the Zenyatta or the Mercy in the backline, the Brigida can quickly turn around, shield bash, and shut that person down. This is the first type. This is the first kind of hero we've seen that can do this. And Brigida is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. She is here to stay.
Unless Papa Jeff himself plans to just delete her from the game, she's here to stay.
And this is so true. So, Trashman, what's it look like going into this game? What are we looking at here? What are the compositions looking like going into this game here?
I like to see Krill. I think he was pretty good at Widow. I'm glad to see that on defense. You know, it just puts all the more pressure on people who are trying to, you know, people are trying to just walk around aimlessly, have a no care, and if they can really take advantage of possibly Reform's overconfidence, I mean, they've won the last 2 matches, they may be a little overconfident. If they can really take advantage of that as well, they could really pull it off.
And it looks like somebody procs the poison mine from Kirill. And it looks like Kirill's going for a pick on the Mercy. And there's Zenyatta in the back. Gets picked by Yako going into the fight. It looks like a massive dive from Evergreen into the opposing Kings Row Gods team. And they will take this point. Trashman, what are we looking at? What's it looking like going into the second point here? What are we?
Looks like they're maybe it looks like that it's looking like that it looks like
it's looking like something that's going to be looked at.
Hornet is dead, by the way. He's had to take a shot every time we say that, so he's dead.
Hornet is most likely going to be blackout by the time the stream is over, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going into the fight. A big dive onto the Zenyatta from Evergreen. And it looks like the Tracers following up was huge. Yako, pick on the Mercy. It looks like this is cleanup city right now. And Evergreen has the Primal Rage. He procs it. This is absolutely massive for Reformed right now.
And, you know, Kings Row Gods, they don't have any ult. Hernadellian just popped his, but, you know, what can they do offensively against such a strong attack here? Clean sweep right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going into the next round.
Hornet with more banter.
And
oh dear. It looks like there's more things from Hornet. You're definitely not wrong about that, Hornet. Junkrat is the best character in the game right now. He's in the best position to be the most effective. He's the most accurate, most difficult to play, highest ceiling, highest skill ceiling.
And I really do like Volskaya as 2CP. This is one of the only 2CP maps that I actually enjoy, Trashman. What do you think about this map?
Pretty much any of the other cheese pizza maps are just that, a bunch of cheese pizza. You know, we don't like them. Well, Volskaya though, it's a bit more balanced than any of the others, like Anubis or Moon, or you know the maps where it's just so easy for the enemy team to, or the defenders to just, you know, walk right onto the point literally. There's a little bit more of a walk, a little bit easier to really get in and strategize, and a bit more of an even fight between the attackers and the defenders. Kind of like Kings Row.
Very well said, Trashman, and that is one of the main reasons why a lot of people do not like 2CP, is because of the major disadvantages on either attack or defense. And we see more of an even playing field here on Volskaya. That is why this is one of the better 2CP maps in our opinion.
Now, and I'll say this just for Hornet, it looks like that the Reform team is going 2 snipers this time. Anal Shipman, we've seen him really pop off as Hanzo, and he really wants to just keep doing that. Jaco did a pretty good job taken down the other Widow's Zibarian as well, and so I guess they just want to go right with that.
Oh,
you know,
a big
no
pick from
respect.
Freeze.
Fortunately, with their Mercy down, they just, you know, you can't go in with that. You can't really do any more when she's down.
Once your main support is down, you have to fully reset and then go in for another take, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like King's Row Gods is going to go for that next take here. And hopefully we see some more action here coming in from King's Row Gods. But it looks like, for the most part, the Reform has a good defensive setup. They have double sniper with the Hanzo Widowmaker, and they are running Dive with Moira, or I'm sorry, not Moira, but Mercy and Zenyatta. And it looks like the Hammond from Your Mom Trash on King's Row Gods is a great choice here.
Your Mom Trash has been playing Hammond night and day ever since Hammond came out. She's definitely more confident with Hammond than anyone else I've seen today. We'll see if that works out pretty well.
It looks like Rose is swapped from the Symmetra onto the Tracer.
Rose is keeping the agility alive, which is nice to see.
Oh my goodness, and a big snipe from Anal Shipman onto Roses, dude.
Roses just got analed by Anal Shipman, unfortunately.
Goodness gracious. Alright, and it looks like, it looks as if King's Row Gods is looking to regroup here for another push. And it looks like Yako is just absolutely popping off right now. Another pick on the Roses going into the fight.
You hate to see that. Thanks, Hornet.
Another pick from Yako.
You know,
Another
you
huge
hate
pick
to
from
see
Yako.
that.
But
You hate to
Kirill
see
gets
that
Yako down.
from
We're looking at a blade from Kirill with a nice Mercy pocket. And it looks like a self-destruct from the Diva.
But with the trans, what are you gonna do, you know? You hate to see that.
And if we're looking at King's Row Gods, I think we have to take a look at the tanks here. What is going on? What is going on with these tanks?
We have a single alt usage here. I'll say I'm not quite sure what was going on there.
I would say that King's Row Gods need their tanks to make a little bit more space for the DPS to be able to get in here and get some damage in on the opposing team.
Tough to say because Hammond is so agile, movable, I'd say, so mobile. It's really, I don't know, it's tough to play him like a traditional tank, unless you're good.
And it looks like King's Row is going to go for another reset here for another point, another take on point.
With 1 minute to
A
go.
big pick on Zibarian from Yako. And we're looking at a huge res from Herndeli going to this next fight. We are moving. It looks like King's Row Gods is moving here. It's looking like Hammond is getting in with no support. And Zibarian just poked a little bit too far. Just enough for Yako on the Widowmaker to take advantage of that.
Let's get an aerial shot of this this attack and defense here. Really take a look at the organization of the teams together. You're a mess.
Alright, here we are. It looks like King's Row Gods has one last take here. 13 seconds to get on the point.
Big seed. Trying to get the point, but unfortunately this wasn't
Here
enough.
comes a dragon. Oh my goodness. And it looks like a big bomb from
Not
SWC.
gonna let them touch the point whatsoever.
Zibarian with a swap on a Yako, but he trades with the headshot. And it looks like Hammond is the last hope here for this team.
You hate to see that, you know, a Hammond with...
And that will do it for Volskaya. It looks like Reformed is going to take this one, guys. You know, Trash Man, what did we see there with that last game?
I think King's Row Gods did a little better on Legion. It's definitely the more linear maps where there is a clear path and goal to go on. Those are a little bit tougher for them. But once again, you know, Reformed had their organization and their alt usage down so well. They're very organized. They knew who to pick. They knew what to go on. King's Row Gods, unfortunately, they weren't up to par with that same level of organization, and we saw a lot of alts just kind of used without follow-up or fat-fingered. You never know.
It looks as if we could have seen a little bit more comboing and or team play grouping from Kings Row Gods, but that is just one match, and it is not a big deal. We are going to be playing more matches tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. That is just one game, and it is a points-based system, so every map will give a point. One map win gives 1 point. So these teams will be playing each other all throughout this weekend and next. So we will see more of that here. And let's see if it is possible to get another game going for the final game here. It looks like Team Heal Up still needs to play a game due to the fact of a team that left early. Ladies and gentlemen, Cosmic Rift did not show up today. So we are
Big beef with Cosmic Rift.
big beef at this point. There was absolutely no reason for it. A little bit annoying, but you know,
You hate
move
to
on.
see that. You hate to see that.
You hate to see teams that don't show up, you know. So we'll see what happens with that, and just give us a quick break, and we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.